Welcome back everyone, Josh here.
And Josie.
And Eileen.
And Annika.
We've just pulled up at Uranus. We're heading out the road. We're going to go and check out some caves. We've got an exciting video for you today. We've got some caves that have been inhabited over 12,000 years or even older. Predates the Egyptians, Mayans, a lot of them. Probably not the Mayans, but it'd be on par. We're going to have a cook up. We're going to go and do some yabbying. Stick around. First up, we're going to head down to the caves and check them out, and we'll come back and have a cook up.
What's the green tag and that number?
Oh, this is the better part. Definitely better. I'd be able to fit.
There's a hole in there and there's been some sort of animal digging it out and living in there.
Oh, really?
So we're coming up on one of the first caves. There's a few that are locked off like this because there's still Aboriginal artefacts and you can clearly see where they've been on the rocks.
What do you mean?
I'll give you a look at the sign.
I used to think there was gorillas in there.
Right there on the edge of that boulder. You can see the grooves in the rock where they've been grinding seeds and sharpening spears and doing all sorts of things. If we sit back and have a look at the actual cave, it's probably filled up with sediment more than what it was. But it's just an absolute perfect place to sit out of the sun in the middle of the day, get in out of the rain. I'll come back. I'm not going to go off the trail. It's going to be a bit hard to picture, but this is the cave. You've got this great big overhanging cliff. Goes all the way up there. They've actually got a seat there. And then this cave is, I don't know whether it's dug out or just naturally worn out. But it's an absolute perfect little habited area. Just imagine sitting in there in the middle of summer. We'll keep moving along, there's a lot more up here yet.
They went up there.
There's a small one there. Actually, we can go down inside this one. We'll go down in and have a look up in here. I'm not going too far in there.
Why?
You can see there's actually a tunnel leads all the way back there. I don't know, I'm definitely won't be going back in there, but Josie might be able to squeeze in there. I tell you what, if you're into photography, it's an absolute beautiful spot for that. It's probably not going to capture on the GoPro how nice of a place it is.
This rock.
So we've reached the first lookout. It's got a little bit of information here about the Pilliga. And there's a bit of a seat here to have a rest halfway around, and just a little bit further on there's some really big caves up there, so we'll keep heading up and have a look. It's actually a beautiful spot to come exploring, bring the kids out. Oh, check this place out. I'll give you a look. I've just walked into it. Let's go up here and have a look. Actually, I'll bring you with me. It's a bit of a rock climb to get up here. Oh. Go up into this one. It's all sandy, obviously from the sandstone. You can walk up inside this cave. I'll give you a look. We're all overhanging here. Absolute magic spot. There's the rest of them down there. Nice spot for the kids to explore. There's a tunnel going down through the rock there, back down to the bottom. Or you can come up this way, or come up the way that I did. And you can stand on the edge of the cliff here. Have a look at the view. And you can just imagine in the middle of summer, this is actually facing south. So it'd be nearly always shady here and cool. Absolute beautiful spot. You can just imagine people gathering here tens of thousands of years ago. Go back down here without falling.
Are we getting a photo?
And there's the tunnel back down through the rock.
I went through that way.
And we're still looking through this cave. That's where I come up on the other side of that tunnel. We've climbed up here and it goes up all the way into another cave system. There's a big cave up the back here, again with a nice lookout. Little areas where you can sit over the edge of the cliff here and have a look. We've got the selfie queens here getting selfies through all the tunnels.
Come on.
And this little doorway here actually goes through into another cave system. Let's go through this little tunnel here and have a look.
Oi!
Oh, it's like a slide there. Look at this.
They're leaving without the bag.
There's a little bed area up in there.
Dad, they're leaving without the bag.
No, they're going to get the bags.
Can you get my stick too?
They got to go back around and grab their bags they left.
Guys, can you get my stick too? Yeah.
We'll go for a look up into here. Oh, this is a nice little spot up in here. Look at this.
Oh, it's so cool in here.
It's absolutely beautiful up in here. We'll see what it looks like on this other side. I think we may get down there.
No.
It's going to be a bit of a slide.
I know. Yeah, no, I'm just scared.
We'll just have a look back, just to show you what we've just come through.
So beautiful.
You could explore up in here all day. I'm not going to show you all of it. You'll have to come up here for yourselves.
Nah.
I'll take you up there and have a look, but there's a room thing that runs up in here and I thought I heard some cavemen up in there. Oh, there is. There's two cavemen. So I'll have one last look at this last little bit. There's still heaps more further down. There's little windows and stuff that keep jumping through. But this is like a little dugout cave type thing. You got a little resting area here with an overlook. You can just imagine and there's a little doorway comes in there from, it's easily to get through. A little overhang that's actually the perfect height just to stand here and look out at what's going on. And then it goes up into like a whole nother area up in there. And like I said, I won't show you all of this. We'll keep moving down. I know there's some smaller caves down a bit further. And you guys will have to come up here and have a look for yourselves, if you can find it. So we're coming up onto another cave here that's been fenced off. It would have, I'm not even too sure what's in this one. We'll have a look up here on the information board.
Amy footprints. Where?
So there's rock art on this in this cave that's up to 12,000 years old, probably older. It's been protected, which is a good idea. And there they are there. We'll see if we can make them out on camera. So these footprints and stuff and carvings in the rock would predate Egyptian pyramids by double at least. We'll see if we can make them out there. So we might head off to the other day. We've got some yabbies there to cook. I went and threw some traps in, had a bit of a go, and then a couple of days later me and Eileen went and threw the traps in and just tested a dam. We didn't get a lot. It's worth checking out. We're going to go and cook them up. Trap number 1. Got trap number 2 here, and I've probably come only about 20 metres. It's a massive big dam, but I don't think I'm going to spread them right out across the dam because I haven't actually been here for a number of years, and it's getting a bit cool, so we're just going to really see if there's any about for this run. Trap number 3, I reckon I'll go out pretty well as far as that rope will let me, and that's a fair bit deeper there. That's still sinking. That first one is actually pretty shallow, so probably getting a good mix of shallow and deep to see whether there's much here. Trap number 4, I'll probably come about halfway down the dam, and I think to have a really good test here, which I don't know whether I'll get this year. I mean, that's going to have a reasonably good test. We'll spread it over this corner of the dam. If we don't get a single thing here, probably a good indication we're not going to get anywhere else. But I reckon next year we'll come back and we'll have a good go right around the edge and spread the traps right out. So we're back at the Drovers Dam. The traps have been in for a good 4.5, 5 hours. So we'll give them a rip up and see what happens. We've got the boss pulling the traps up today. Oh yeah, there's at least one in there.
What was that?
Oh, there's a couple of good ones in there actually. Oh, a couple of monsters.
Just 2.
You beauty. I think we'll hold on to them just to see how the other traps go.
We'll just put in there.
Because this was in a really shallow part of the dam, and I was really only setting them today just to test this dam to see what was in here and what wasn't. It's starting to get fairly cold now, so I didn't have too much hope. I reckon next season, come back here and hit it in the middle of summer, I reckon we'll do all right. Trap number 2. And I know this dam's loaded with spangled perch. But I'm not too sure if there's much size.
There's just how many? There's spangled perch in there, look.
Yeah, that's all right, 3. There's 3 absolute beauties. Look at the size of that fella. He's a bloody monster. Got trap number 3, and this is one that I threw out fairly far, like that's the full length of the rope, and it did seem pretty deep just here. Here we go. Oh yeah, there's at least a couple more. Oh, there's a heap of spangled perch in there.
Can we keep them?
Nothing of any size though.
Can Fred? There. Oh, there.
But the few yabbies we are getting out of here are absolute bloody bangers.
We'll grab that other one. Come on. Yeah.
But Eileen getting all these fish back.
Yeah.
There they all go. Got the last trap, and I don't want to jinx her, but we probably want about another 2.
Another 2.
Or 3.
There's like 4 in there.
4.
No.
Absolutely none. I jinxed her.
You did. That's not enough.
That's all right. Lucky they're really big yabbies. I reckon, what do we got? 6 or 7 really good sized ones there. That's enough for a feed for us. Today I've come out to spot number 3 from a previous video. And last time I was here, I got absolutely nothing. I was getting heaps of bites from fish. I was after yabbies. So I didn't actually land any fish, and I missed a couple of yabbies. So we've come back to redeem myself today, and I'll give you a bit of a look for anyone that's missed it. We've got this beautiful creek, runs right up there, right down, up there, and there's another big hole over here. We will go over there today. And I've got 4 pyramid traps ready to go. And in the bait holders, I've got a nice big chunk of bullock liver. So if there's any yabbies in here, I think we're going to have a good crack at them today. And I brought the fishing rod, so we're going to have a crack at actually catching a fish. And we'll get these traps in. I'm sort of thinking I might take 2 over to that other hole, and I'll put 2 in this hole. But I won't put them right here because I want to sit here for rod. So I'll go up there a bit and put a trap, and then I'll go up there a bit and put a trap. First trap going in. See how deep it is there. Plenty deep enough, be a good couple of foot I'd say. And trap number 2, I've probably come 10 metres down from where I'm going to sit from the rod. About the same distance in the opposite direction to trap number 1. And I'll just give you a look at what I'm walking through. Waist high. Walking through waist high grass in this area is not a good idea. But anyway, we'll see how we go. And I've walked over to this other hole, and I don't think it's a separate hole. I'll give you a look. That sun's probably going to blare the hell out of you at the moment. The creek runs up around there and around, and there's no break in it. It's actually one big hole and keeps going right up around the corner there. And it actually looks reasonably deep. There's nearly got to be yellow belly in here. There was just a decent fish on top of the water there then. We'll get these 2 traps in here, and I may come back over this side for a fish. We'll just see how we go. Trap number 3, we'll see how deep it is. That's still sinking. Yeah, that'd have to be a good 3 or 4 foot there. Heaps enough for a decent fish. There's got to be yellow belly in this creek. And trap number 4, it's going way out in the middle. And I'm just looking down here where I put this trap number 4, and there's heaps of weed in the water on this other bank over here. It's normally the ideal spot for yabbying, around that weed. So we'll let them traps have a soak for a good hour or so, I reckon. Well, I've had that rod out for a good hour or more and hardly got a bloody touch on it. I've got a couple of small bobby cod. I probably won't even show them on the video. Got him now. Got him now. He's only little. Probably big enough to eat, but... Oh, you beauty. Nice little perch. So what we'll do, we'll go and run these traps and see how we go. So I've got the first trap coming in. Hopefully it's a bit more successful than the lines. Oh yeah. Oh, we've got a few nice ones in there actually. Absolute little beauties. Here's a nice one. Have a go at that. So we'll keep this fella. So we ended up with 6 in that trap, and I'm thinking I might even just keep all them for now. I've got the second trap here. We'll get him in and see how we go. It's a little bit deeper there, so I'm thinking I might do a bit better. Not particularly. It's not loaded with yabbies, but there is some nice ones in there. God, they're a lively bunch. That there is an absolutely beautiful yabby right there. So we end up with 7 out of that trap, and I've kept 2. That's the second one. We'll let these other 5 go. There we go. They're all got back to the water pretty bloody quick. So we're down at trap number 3. And these are the ones that we put down in this other hole. And I reckon this hole here is a lot deeper. It definitely is a lot deeper. Not a lot of yabbies. So there's the first one. And they're a good, clean, nice little yabby. Not huge, but a good eating size. And there's the second one. He's probably pretty well exactly the same as the first one. And the lucky last trap. God, that's pretty bloody deep there. Oh, we done all right out of that trap. There's a couple of really nice ones in there. And we end up with 6 out of that trap, and I think there's probably 3 that I'll keep. We'll tip them out here near the water, slowly. The couple that I want to keep is that one there. He's a nice clean yabby, that fella. That one there can go back. He's not really too small, but we'll let him go. And these are the other 2 that I'm going to keep. That one there. and that fella. And these other two, we'll put them back in the water. This one's jammed in the corner. There he goes, he's flipping his way back. Send his mate with him. There they go, back into the water. And to be quite honest, I really expected to do better at this place. We did get a nice little snack of yabbies, let half go, done all right. So we'll head back to the hills now. And so those caves are definitely worth going and checking out. We've just pulled back in at Uranus. We're going to cook some balls and some yabbies. Nothing too special. I've just got a bit of butter with garlic, because we all know everything tastes good with butter and garlic. Let's get a bit of butter and garlic mix. And we've got some meatballs that I made earlier. Nothing special, just little meatballs. And I do have some breadcrumbs in with those. Get that pan nice and hot. And I'm going to put the meatballs on first because they'll take a lot longer to cook. So we've got our meatballs probably halfway, a little bit better, 2/3 of the way cooked. We'll put our yabbies in. Now these yabbies, I've already sort of partially cooked them, blanched them, peeled them, deveined them as I normally do. We've had them on ice, and there's actually some good sized yabbies in amongst this lot. And I think what we'll do, we'll throw a bit more of this garlic butter on top of them yabbies, just for the sake of it. And we got that feed cooking, and I looked over, and I'll just give you a look while we're here. Check this out. They must be bloody everywhere, these goats. Look at that. Wild goats. We're actually on the side of the highway at a rest area, and these goats are as quiet as anything. I'll see how close I can get to them. I'll just walk up here very slowly. Try not to spook him. It's only a young one too. Oh, he's seen me. He's not running away though. You are actually allowed to hunt up through here in areas, in parts of the state forest. You could quite easily get them with a bow if you wanted to. I tend not to like hurting them. They do a bit of damage. They are a feral animal. They're not native, but they don't tend to hurt too much. And you very rarely see one dead on the side of the road. There they go. Look how quiet they are. Within a couple of metres of them. I would have been less than 10 metres away. So I think our food's just about done. Check this out. It's a little bit buttery, but I guess you can't have too much butter. Oh, if you smell the smell coming off that. I've actually put a little bit more seasoning on them yabby tails. Probably didn't need it, but can't have too much seasoning either. We've got all the hawks hanging around here, wanting to have a smell. There's a truck driver hanging around over here too. We had to chase him off. He was after a yabby tail. And what we've got, we'll just have a look over here, Eileen, quickly. What we've got here, we've got some sweet mustard, tomato sauce, aioli, supercharged, and sweet and sour.
What's that?
And all we're going to do, we just got these kebab sticks. We're just going to pick one off. Pick whatever sauce you want. I want supercharged sauce. Dip it in your supercharged.
It's like Filipino street food.
Beautiful.
Filipino street food. It's still hot up there. It's still hot.
So we better give the boss a taste test. See if it passes. Poor Josie eats all these yabbies.
I'll go.
I think she's getting 2 or 3 on a stick at a time. I don't even think she's chewing them up. What do you got, aioli?
Yeah.
I haven't had a yabby yet, so I better get one before they're all gone.
It's hot.
Hot.
Yeah. think I'll go for
I'm gonna have a go at one of these yabbies before they're all gone.
go sweet and sour.
And I might go sweet and sour too, I think. With sweet and sour sauce. Have a crack at a yabby.
Yum.
And since we're here, I just can't resist it. I better eat a ball in front of Uranus. So we might call that a day. Had a pretty good day, checked out the caves, caught some yabbies, which was actually the other day. And we'll catch you on the next one.